Hello, and welcome to Career Journeys Through Fintech, how Fiserv makes money move. Today's discussion will feature products for small businesses and e-commerce solutions, the career journeys of some of our panelists, and we'll conclude with some takeaways. Now, to introduce our presenters.
Hello, my name is Sanjays Journey, and I'm a customer success analyst at Clover from Fiserv.
Hi, I am Sanjay Kinvasara, and I am the VP of Software Development at Fiserv.
Hello, I'm Allison Johnson. I am a Director of Strategic Programs.
Hello, everyone. I'm honored and thrilled to be a part of the Afrotech Learning Lab today and share my experiences working at Clover. One of the reasons I'm excited and I love working at Clover is because I actually came from behind the counter working at one of the busiest coffee shops in New York City, where I used Clover and got exposure and was able to learn the product and learn all about small businesses. One of the things I learned most is that small businesses aren't just relying on Clover to be a point of sale system for them to accept payments behind the counter. They're also looking for a system or a platform that includes e-commerce capabilities, the ability to go mobile, the ability to manage business operations such as payroll and taxes, and the ability to reach their customers. One of the things I love about Clover is the amount of merchants and businesses that we're able to help by providing them the necessary tools and technologies that they may have not had access to before. I'm going to go ahead and share some of the visuals of the products that Clover has to offer so that you can get an understanding of what it is that I'm exactly talking about. As you can see here, Clover offers a variety of different hardwares in all different shapes and sizes depending on the merchant's needs. Whether they're looking for something large like a Clover Station Solo or something smaller and compact like a Clover Mini, all of our solutions are tailored to fit the business's needs. Not only do we offer hardware solutions for our merchants, we also allow our merchants to be on the Clover platform without a device. What I want to do now is quickly share what the actual software on the device looks like. So I plugged in my Clover Station into my computer so that you're all able to see what the actual software looks like of the device that we just saw. What we're looking at right now is the lock screen of the device, and this is good for all of our merchants for security reasons because they can keep track of sales and keep track of what their staff members are doing. Not only are we able to enter in a passcode here, we're also able to use fingerprints for added security. As you can see here, the first thing that you notice when you log in is that it looks very similar to a phone or tablet, and that's not by mistake. We want to make using the system easy for our merchants and something that they're going to understand. And no better way to do that than mirroring it to an experience that they're used to every day, like their cell phone. Just like your cell phone, if you wanted to send a text message, you're going to go to the Messages app, or if you needed to send an email, you're going to go to the Email app. Same rule of thumb applies here. If a merchant wants to go in and look at their reporting, they'll go ahead and click on reporting. If they want to manage their employees, they'll go into employees and so on. Clover runs on an instance of Android, so it's constantly being updated so that our merchants have the feature set and the functionality that they need. A couple other things that you'll notice on the home screen is a couple of widgets off to the side. The first being this Call Me button. Rather than having our busy merchants call into support as they're trying to run their business and being on hold, trying to get to a representative, we give them the option to place themselves in a queue so that we can give them a call because client experience is the most important thing to us. We also have other functionality such as this Clover Rapid Deposit button over here. This function allows merchants to deposit their funds and get paid instantly, rather than the standard 1 to 2 day waiting period that most credit card processors offer. We understand that our merchants need money now, so we want to make sure that we're able to provide that to them. One of the solutions that I want to highlight today is our dining solution that's made for table service restaurants. As you can see here, a merchant's going to be able to mirror their floor plan just like they would in their actual restaurant onto Clover, so that way it's easy and organized when their servers are taking orders. Not only do we allow them to manage their tables, we allow them to manage other orders such as orders at their bar or pickup orders. As you can see here, we're able to name all of our guests so that it's easy for the merchant to manage, as well as the customer to close out their tab and go on with their day. Go ahead and quickly open up a table just so that you can see what the experience looks like for a server. As you can see here, over to the left is the actual order itself, and then over to the right is the menu. A couple of things that I do want to highlight is the functionality that goes beyond just taking an order. Sure, we can go ahead and add in an item, but there's a bunch of other functionality available that are key for servers to get throughout their, to be able to serve their table. As you can see here, the server is able to add discounts, add a service charge, add a pre-authorization to the order so that they could hold their card on file for a fast and easy transaction at the end of the customer stay. They also have standard server functionality such as moving orders. But one of the key features that I do want to highlight is our contactless ordering, which, as we all know, has been key for our restaurants from surviving the pandemic. So I'm going to go ahead and show what that experience looks like by quickly pulling up my cell phone so that you can see what the end user actually experiences with Clover. So I'm going to go ahead and scan this QR code. And as you can see here, we provide all of our merchants with a website for their online ordering because we know how important it is for our restaurants, especially right now, to offer online ordering to their merchants. And not all of our restaurants have their own website or have their own mechanism for online ordering. So we want to make it easy for them by integrating that directly into their point of sale, as we can see here. As an end customer, as I'm sure many of you have done, you've scanned a QR code at a restaurant. It's easy, it's quick, it reduces the amount of interaction you have to have with the staff, and it leads to a fast and easy experience for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and add in some eggs to my order, and then I can go ahead and check out. But not only are we providing our merchants with an ordering website that they can offer their customers, we're also providing them with the power of the Clover app. So I'm going to quickly pull up the app right now. So this is the Clover app, and this app is going to list out all the different businesses around a customer's area. So it makes it easy for you as a consumer to see who's using Clover, who's offering online ordering, and who's also enrolled in the loyalty program. Why wouldn't you want to be why wouldn't you want to get rewarded for shopping at one of your favorite coffee shops or one of your favorite restaurants? So just to show you what this experience looks like, I'm just going to go ahead and open up this page right here. So for the merchants that are accepting online orders, customers will be able to place their orders. As you can see here, I've ordered from Sanu's Tavern before, and I've gotten tortas. I can go ahead and order that again right now if I'd like to, or I can go ahead and try something new. And beyond that, we also have perks, as you can see here. So as you can tell, I've frequently visited this restaurant, and I have the ability to get 50% off a purchase, or even $10 off a purchase if I want to save that for a later purchase. And one of the coolest features that we have is the ability to actually check in as a customer. So let's say I'm about to go to Sanu's Tavern, I can go ahead and click check in on my phone. And now as the merchant, if I go back over to the device, I can go ahead and open up and start an order. Let's say, we're getting eggs any style again. And now as a customer, I'm just going to tell the cashier or whoever's at the register, hey, I've checked in on the app. They could go in easily, see that Sanu's been checked in. They'll confirm that the person checked in is actually, who they say they are by verifying the image. And now I can, as a customer, I can tell them, hey, I want to redeem one of my perks. So we can go ahead and add that in. Or let's say I'm saving that for later. I can just pay directly from my phone. On my app, I already set up my credit card. I'll just tell the merchant, hey, just run the card. And there we go, a completely contactless transaction. The next tool I want to highlight is a tool that we call the Clover dashboard. That's a tool that we're actually going to use on our web browser. As you can see here, a quick snapshot of what the experience looks like when a merchant first logs in. They'll be able to see their net sales for the day. They'll also be able to see any offers or different features available to them. As you can see here, this particular merchant's able to contact all their customers and send them a promotion directly to their phone. Imagine you just looked at your phone and you got a text saying that you get 50% off tacos from your favorite taco truck. I don't know about you, but I would be pretty excited about that. One of the tools I want to highlight here is our virtual terminal tool. This tool allows merchants who aren't using a Clover device, or even if they are, to transact anywhere they are. As you can see here, I have the ability to key in a transaction all from my computer. Imagine you're a restaurant owner and you get a call from someone who wants to, place an order for catering and you want to charge them for the deposit, but you're stuck in the office, you're busy doing payroll. You don't have to go out on the floor and bother your staff. You can just go in and charge that card directly from here, from the convenience of your office. This tool also supports sending invoices, so I can even send my customers an invoice and just have them pay at their leisure, so I don't have to interact with them on the phone waiting for that payment. They can pay when they're ready. And then beyond just the commerce transactions here, we have the ability, merchants have the ability to look at their reports, manage their inventory, manage their customer lists. They can use Clover as a marketing platform to get customers they haven't reached before. So one of the things here is our reporting. Not only are we providing metrics for our merchants, we're also providing visuals for fast and easy consumption. Metrics such as top performing items, top performing categories, they can make informed budgeting decisions, such as how many staff members should they have during their peak hours? How much of each ingredient should they be ordering, or each item should they be ordering? They're also able to view sales by employees and also view their deposit reporting. That's definitely key for our merchants. They don't have to go to 3 different platforms to look at all that information. It's all in one central place, which is really important for our merchants. Knowing what I do about running a small business, I know how many different tools and different softwares are needed. So it's very beneficial to allow merchants to manage that all in one platform. And one of the last tools I want to highlight, and I think this is going to interest a lot of you here, is Clover has an open platform. So not only are we building tools natively and building solutions for our merchants to leverage, we're allowing partner developers of ours to develop tools for our businesses as well to use in addition to Clover. As you can see here, we categorize the different apps so that merchants know what apps are relevant for their business type and for their business needs. We have currently over 500 apps on our app market, and that number is continuing to grow. For any of you that are interested in partnering with us, developing an app, if you have an idea of a solution that you think would be game-changing for small businesses and be helpful for them to, integrate that with Clover, we're more than happy to work with you. We have an entire team dedicated to working with our developers to make sure they have the necessary tools, necessary knowledge on the APIs that we have available so that they're able to build those integrations and partner with us. In closing, I appreciate everyone taking the time to listen to me talk about Clover and walk through just a small taste of what it feels like to be on the Clover platform as a merchant, as well as a consumer. What I want to do now is pass it over to 2 of my leaders in our company who are going to talk about their career journeys. I'm going to pass it over to Sanjay.
Thank you, Sanu. So that was a really insightful presentation. Thank you for that. What are you doing today, right? So I work as a Vice President of Software Development at Fiserv. The division I specifically work with delivers industry-leading softwares in the areas of payments, risk and compliance, and digital efficiency. Over the 11 years of career at Fiserv, I was provided with a lot of growth opportunities. I did grow from a role of a manager to a director and then to a vice president. My responsibilities over the years were increased from managing a single product to now someone who is responsible for application design, development, integration, sustainment, and delivery of software packages of a large suite of products spanning across multiple lines of businesses. I have gravitated more towards being a leader, accountable to build teams and lead them to optimal performances across complex assignment. Alison, would you want to add your journey?
Yes, of course. Thank you, Sanjay. Today, I have been with Fiserv now for about almost 3 years. Today, I am part of the global sales organization where I am responsible for managing strategic programs that span across the enterprise, including technology, training, go-to-market, value messaging for our sales teams, helping to build strategy that aligns with the organization's goals. I started out in our business unit called Card Services. And when I initially started with the organization, I was able to also use those skills to build go-to-market planning, work with technology teams to deploy products to our customers. So while I'm not necessarily categorized as a technologist per se, I have been able to use my technical aptitude and skills from previous roles throughout my career to help strengthen my ability to translate goals, build strategy for the organization, managing large projects and programs. So currently, I use my program management skills to manage large-scale programs that transcend among different areas, and oftentimes those areas do involve technology. So I have kind of a mix of things where I'm able to use my technology skills as well as my people skills. So let's get into our discussion. How did I get started? I started my career in technology many years ago. My first job after finishing undergraduate school was providing technical support for a lighting manufacturing company. My major was computer information systems in undergrad, and I thought I wanted to be a developer when I initially embarked upon my major. But my first day of class, I decided very quickly that being a developer was not for me. However, I'm the type of person that does not start something and I don't finish it. So I never changed my major. I stuck it out and I'm glad I did. My first job doing technical support was very fast paced. It was very people centric and it gave me the ability to work with people and learn some intriguing skills. A few things that I learned from that first job was how to work with people, being able to translate technical stuff into layman's terms. I also learned how to solve complex business problems. And I think most importantly, I learned to collaborate with technologists and business people and able to translate that language so that the two could be able to talk to each other. So over the past few years, I've been able to build upon those skills. In graduate school, I became very interested in strategy. And so I earned an MBA in technology management with a concentration in strategy and went on later to earn a doctorate in strategy and innovation. So today, at Fiserv, I'm able to use those skills and continuing to learn along the way and enjoy this wonderful area of financial technology and being able to work with both technologists and with business people alike. What about you, Sanjay? How did you get started?
I have always been a STEM guy. I started my career around 23 years back. I got education from one of the best universities and was a college recruit of my first organization. We made financial softwares for banks. This was my first exposure to digital banking. I started with being a software developer who used to write tons of code across various languages like C++, Java, and VB. I also worked heavily on various database technologies like Oracle, SQL, and Sybase. The end-to-end exposure on technology stacks did give me a good platform to build further upon my career. In addition, I did take up role of business function analyst and then a system integrator managing complex integrations across hundreds of financial systems. The blend of technology and understanding of financial industry is really what has given me the confidence to pick any and every assignment which has come my way. Why does fintech matters? Fintech matters because it touches our lives every single day. Money and the technology related to it, in some form or the other, impacts everyone every day. For me, fintech just enables me to make better decisions, more informed decisions based on facts and situations. It just provides me with full control of my finances. We have already seen that COVID-19 has become an unexpected super catalyst for adoption of technology globally. Suddenly, online banking is no longer a choice, no longer a matter of convenience, but an absolute need for most of us. Corporations and banks, small and big, are rapidly launching more and more digital solutions so that we are able to operate from our houses, from beaches, from playgrounds, from everywhere possible in the world. Just during this pandemic, we got my mom access to her online bank account so that she can start paying her bills online. My wife has started online art classes where she is teaching kids of all ages. And yes, we did get my 17-year-old son a credit card so that he can shop for his school supplies and party with his friends. We, as a family, have shifted to online ordering and delivery of all our groceries. Very clearly, fintech is everywhere. It matters. How do you feel about it, Alison?
I agree, Sanjay, in that fintech is all over the world and in our everyday lives. I think for me, I will agree in that we live in a world where time, quality, and cost matters in just about everything that we do. We want things to be done quickly. We want things to have the best quality possible, but we want that at the lowest cost in most cases. Fintech has afforded organizations and businesses to make this possible for its customers. At Fiserv, we have a very proud history of supporting millions of small businesses like you described, Sanjay. We support businesses across a wide range of sectors. And in response to the pandemic, as part of the Forward Together plan, Fiserv committed to investing $50 million to strengthen the small business development ecosystem as a way to help increase access to marginalized communities. And this idea has become the heart of our Back to Business program, and it has been successful over the last year. We were able to help small businesses pivot and get back to business by using the technology that we described earlier in our Clover demonstration. Clover, the point of sales platform, helps to accelerate the collective efforts to elevate diversity and inclusion. And I think most importantly, what we're starting to realize is even those small things that we do on a daily basis, what you mentioned, Sanjay, ordering your groceries or paying for things online, or the example you gave with your son who's able to get a credit card and shop and have fun with his friends, fintech powers all of those things. So for those things in our everyday life, that's why fintech matters. So in conjunction with fintech, let's talk about some of the hottest technologies or skills that we want to learn that we think would be popular or very helpful learning in the area of fintech. I would say for me, most of all, artificial intelligence, most know this as AI. Artificial intelligence is valuable for quite a number of reasons. Again, we as consumers, we want things to be fast, we want quality, and we want our clients to get those things at the lowest cost possible. So artificial intelligence helps us to analyze data, analyze our clients' customers' spending habits, and it helps us provide insights into those habits, helping our financial institutions provide the right services and products to their cardholders, to our customers, to our clients, or our merchants across all of our footprints. So for me, I would say that artificial intelligence is one of those hot technologies that's important. What are your thoughts, Sanjay?
My son gets to college next year, and he and I were talking about the exact same thing just last week. He wants to be a STEM guy like me. My top 3 picks on technology are cybersecurity, robotic process automation, and cloud. Cybersecurity, we as an industry have been talking about cybersecurity for quite some time. So it may not sound like a trending one. The fact, however, is it is evolving just as any other technology is. That's in part because threats are constantly new. The bad guys are still trying to illegally access data. They do not seem to be giving up at all. It is hence important that we continue to enhance security as new technology keeps getting adapted. Second one would be robotic process automation. RPA, as it is referred to, automates repetitive tasks that people used to do and is a need of the hour in this fast-paced environment. Intelligent process automations are clearly a thing to focus upon. And the third one is cloud. Cloud native capabilities clubbed with artificial intelligence and machine learning has clearly fast-forwarded our journey of launching new digital offerings every single day. It has simply accelerated development timelines and has clearly opened countless possibilities for our industry. It is allowing us to innovate, to try new things, and scale up the business quickly. I don't know if you are aware, but Fiserv has topped the 2021 IDC in FinTech rankings of the leading global hardware, software, and service providers to the financial services industry. This is a testament to Fiserv's continuous effort to provide financial institutions with the tools that they need to be innovative and resilient. What's the best advice and tips for navigating a career in FinTech? I would say become a professional who understands technology, but at the same time can understand the needs of our clients clearly, can feel their pain, and work towards addressing the issues that they have. Top 3 attributes which have helped me personally are always be accountable, be flexible, and always do the right thing. What would you say, Alison?
I agree with all of those things. And I think in addition to those things, I would say 2 things that go hand in hand that I think are important. And that's the person being flexible. And secondly, being open. These 2 characteristics, in my opinion, help increase your willingness to learn, even when it's not the hottest thing on the market or the sexiest technology that's happening on the market at the time. Know that everything that you encounter, even if it's something that you feel like I'm not the best at it, or it may not necessarily be something I'm completely passionate about, every encounter that you have throughout your daily journey, throughout your career, it's helpful to be open and to be willing to learn and not be afraid to take on the next opportunity. So I think when you're willing to be open and you are willing to be vulnerable and flexible, it helps you in navigating your career in FinTech.
So yes, in conclusion, I think we'll say that always be flexible and remain open. Always try to understand the needs of our customer, feel their pain, be accountable, and deliver the solutions you promise to deliver. Be passionate, learn always, and never be afraid to fail. That's it, team. Thank you for listening to us patiently. Alison?
Thank you, everyone, and hopefully you learned something from us today.